Shirley Sigmund, speech pathology. How can I help you? I think I was just before the 4th grade, and we were playing with another brother-sister pair, where I have a brother, and their cousin came out from some other part of Southern California to play, and our parents were all playing Chinese mahjong together. So what I realized was he just didn't play well with others, and it was frustrating to all of us, and I don't know what made me think it would make a difference, but I kind of took him aside. I think I was 8 years old, and his name was Tony, and I said, Tony, when you do this or that, it doesn't make us want to play with you. And then after that little tiny talk with him, for the next couple of hours, it was great. We all played so much better together. I thought the power of words that are said kindly and how big a difference it made for somebody. And I thought, I want to do that. That's what I want to be able to help people to get along better. And then that was my path of what do I do to work with people? So I thought it was psychology. And then having come here, finding out that you first have to be able to communicate, that's really the most important part of it. You know, if you're fortunate enough to be able to have lots of dreams, at one point, I love physical education. I love movement. I love playing sports. So I thought, I'll be a PE teacher. And then I love writing. So I'll be the next great American novelist. So other things kind of crept in there, but always at the forefront is still working with people and helping people. And that part never changed. Right out of high school, when all my friends were applying to UCLA, USC, and all those other high-ranking schools, I went to a 1-year vocational program for a psych tech school, and that's what I did right out of high school. So when I came up here, I was 19 years old in 1979. It was definitely an eye-opener for someone who's kind of sheltered. There were certainly some patients who had stereotypes of Chinese. They'd ask me, "Are you Bruce Lee?" And I'd say, "No, I'm not a man." And so you kind of had some people that just weren't very tolerant of someone being Chinese, because there were really hardly any Asians up here at all at that time in the central coast of California. But I do know that I learned how to really work with a team, because you had to in order to make sure everybody was safe, patients and of course staff. This was a really good experience for me foundationally in terms of what I would eventually do working with patients. We've got a patient that's choking really badly. About how long has that been happening? Both my parents were born in China. She went to live in Hong Kong from probably about the age of 12 when communist China was really cracking down. She married my dad when she was 23, so she came here pregnant with me. Gosh, the expectations always were you had to do well in school. You shouldn't be getting B's, and if you got a B, why? And I think I put just a lot of that pressure on myself. And in terms of not becoming the MD or the PharmD or any other kind of D, I think she's very proud of me in terms of what I've accomplished. It's okay that I didn't do the dream that she might have had, but I've certainly made the most of the dreams that I've kind of realized along the way. You know, coming from a background where I'm bilingual, I thought about my mom, who speaks perfectly good English, but I thought, if you have a stroke in the left hemisphere of your brain, what language comes back when you start to recover? I did a couple undergraduate papers just on polyglot or bilingual aphasia and the nature of bilingualism itself. One of the professors at Cal State Fullerton, a Chinese professor, she was actively collecting information and data on stroke patients in Monterey Park, which is very much, lots of Chinese live there. So I was going to work with her on collecting data on people that were recovering from a stroke that happened to be bilingual. So when I came to this facility, everything came together, and it feels like it came back home to Atascadero State Hospital. It couldn't have been more perfect. I hope someday when I do retire, and it'll be from the state, I started with the state, I'll retire from the state, that a legacy will be that we need to continue to look at that piece when we treat our patients here. and all across all our facilities. I guess the reason I work or come back to work at DSH, it's still to help the patients who have the voices that are never really heard. That's really what it comes down to. You know, they're mentally ill, and I try to really look past all of that and just see the person inside.